Let's cut through the noise right now. You know that sitting on the sidelines watching broad market ETFs or generic funds tick up slowly feels like watching paint dry. You want growth, real, insane, explosive growth. And sector-specific funds promise exactly that. But here's the brutal truth. Most people get it all wrong. They chase sectors they barely understand, throwing cash into trendy industries and then screaming when it crashes. That's frustration and wasted time. You don't have the luxury for that. You need a strategy sharper than a scalpel, laser-focused on what actually moves the needle. Because your capital isn't just numbers, it's leverage for transformation. Here's the deal. Sector-specific funds don't just bet on industries, they harness deep, unspoken momentum hidden beneath the surface. They leverage expertise, insider knowledge, and timing that's devilishly precise. This isn't some random guesswork or blind hype. It's about understanding the life cycle of sectors, the tectonic shifts under markets, and how innovation curves explode. If you think throwing money at AI or biotech because everyone else does will cut it, you're missing the point. You need to find where the real structural change is happening, where the rules aren't just bending, they're breaking. And then you need to be in front of that, not scrambling behind it. This means you've got to obsess over data few even know exists. Look beyond headlines and investor hype. Dig into supply chains, regulation changes, emerging consumer behaviors, and early tech adoption patterns. Most people see sectors as static boxes. They aren't. They are dynamic, shifting ecosystems that reveal winners and losers fast. The funds capturing explosive growth are the ones that marry this granular insight with a ruthless approach to capital allocation. They move quickly, cut losses without regret, and double down on signals that others dismiss as noise. That's how the power plays happen. But here's what most miss. And it's the secret sauce. They don't just look at sectors through the lens of finance, they think like builders and disruptors inside those sectors. They understand the problems investors face from the inside out. They grasp how business cycles, regulatory wins, and technological breakthroughs converge over a timeline, sometimes years before most can even map it. You need that mindset. It's brutal and rare, but that's what separates mediocre bets from game-changing explosions. So, what do? First, stop believing in the idea that one great sector pick will fix everything. It's about diversification within precision. That means portfolio construction that's flexible but disciplined, with clear entry and exit rules based on real-time analysis, not emotion. Second, network aggressively. Get close to founders, insiders, and ops people in those sectors. The best sector funds don't just rely on data. They get their best intel from human sweat and subtle signals you won't find on Bloomberg or Crunchbase. If you ignore this, you're flying blind. Third, commit to continuous learning and adaptation. Sector dynamics don't pause. What works today could kill you tomorrow if you're too slow or stubborn. The funds that capture explosive growth are obsessed with staying ahead, pivoting fast, and rewiring their assumptions daily. You need that same hunger. No excuses, no ego. Finally, wield capital like it's a weapon, not a safety net. The mistake most founders and investors make is treating cash like oxygen you need to survive. Real growth demands risk, the kind that shakes you out of complacency and forces innovation. Throw cautious capital blindly into sectors and you get average returns. Deploy it strategically, knowing when to pull back or double down, and you own a piece of something that changes the game entirely. If this sounds tough, that's because it is. But it's the only way. Sector-specific funds explode not because luck, but because they marry brutal honesty with relentless action. They don't sugarcoat the pain of making hard decisions or the grind of chasing knowledge no one else has. They embrace it. And that's how the few create alpha where others see chaos. So stop pretending you can sit this out. You're already in the arena. Make your moves smart, fast, and informed. Obsess over what's under the surface. Build those wild combinations of data, instinct, and connection that turns sectors from a gamble into a calculated weapon. Own that. Because in this game, waiting is losing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check the featured link to discover more.